Hey. That's a vibe. She wanna vibe. That's a vibe. It's a vibe, yeah, yeah. Late night. Oh, it's a vibe. Let me slide. Oh, it's a vibe, yeah, yeah. Dim the lights. Oh, it's a vibe, yeah. Get high. It's a vibe.
What's poppin', gang? It's your girl Tiana. Whoa, and I'm back with another video. So as you guys can see in the title, this is part 2 to how I construct and lay my frontal wig down using AsteriaHair. And just in case you guys are new to these parts or whatever, this video, I will have all the links to this hair in the description box. So definitely check out the description box for any links, coupon codes, anything like that. And they will be having a sale on November 11th. So definitely check that out. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in how I actually lay my frontal down and get my baby hairs right and just a few different styles that you can do with having a frontal, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to be using a nude wig cap, and I'm going to place it over my ears because I need it to be like on my sideburns as well. So I'm going to be using the Got To Be Glue, the spray, and I'm using my hand to direct where the spray needs to go. So anytime I ever like just try to spray, I was spraying it like all over the place, which makes it difficult when you have to cut because I don't really need the cap to be that far forward. So I want it to be just like a centimeter-ish above or in front of my hairline. So that's why I'm kind of like using my hand as a reference. And I do this twice. So I spray it a couple layers and then I blow dry it, and then I just do one good layer after the blow dry. And you don't have to blow dry it, but like if you're impatient, you can blow dry it. I wasn't impatient, but I just wanted to show this part too that you can. Because in other words, you can just be doing whatever you want to do until it dries and then do the second layer. So then after that, I'm going to cut the excess of the cap off. So what you're going to cut is pretty much where the glue did not dry. And that's why it's important to make sure that you're not spraying just anywhere, because once it dries, you have to like pull the cap in order to cut it. And it's not hard, but you want to make sure that you have a good hold on the cap. So when you pull it, it kind of loosens up the glue and doesn't hold it in place. But yeah, so you just want to cut off as much excess as you can. There is going to be little pieces that roll, but you can lay those down once you lay like the glue on top of it for whatever you're using to glue your wig down. And the purpose of this wig cap is to be our scalp along with protecting our hair. So that's why it's important to try to get the wig cap to be on majority of parts of your hair along with your hair, along with like your edges. I try to make sure that's on my sideburns, but you can slick your hair back too and try to just slick it up. But anyway, so to make it look more natural, you're going to apply your foundation, or you can use a powder, whatever, powder foundation, just so it looks more realistic. So I mix two foundations. That's because I mix two foundations, period, for my makeup. And I'm using these, and what I'm just going to take a brush and just kind of brush it onto the wig cap. And a lot of times you'll see people brush it onto the actual lace itself, but I don't do that. I just put it on the wig cap because I know eventually it's going to transfer to the wig cap. I mean, the wig cap. Wow, I'm all over the place. Transfer to the lace anyway, so that's why I'm not really big on that. So I'm going to use witch hazel to clean my forehead and to remove the extra makeup that I got on my forehead. And when you're using the BOLDHOLD glue, you're supposed to clean the area that you're applying the glue to with alcohol. My skin has been very sensitive lately, so I haven't been using the alcohol, but I do use alcohol when I know it's not sensitive. So if your skin's not sensitive, go right ahead and use that alcohol. But for now, this is what I'm using to prepare my skin. And now I'm just going to put the wig on. So I'm pulling the wig kind of forward just to get a feel of like where to exactly place the glue. You can mark like where the end of the frontal meets your face or wherever, but I just kind of like fill it out and just know like to apply the glue along the wig cap itself. And go from there. But if you feel like you want to make markings, you can definitely do that too, just so you're kind of not wasting glue. I'm not saying I'm wasting glue, I just know that I have to go back in to re-glue areas. So anyways, I'm taking the Bold Hold glue and I'm placing it on this package, and I'm going to use popsicle sticks to apply the glue. I don't use my fingers because I be touching a lot of greasy stuff or oily things, and I don't want to mess up no type of hold when it comes to my glue. So I would just recommend using popsicle sticks. You can get them anywhere, Walmart, craft stores, whatever. So you want to apply thin layers of the glue. So I apply 3 thin layers when I am adding the Bold Hold glue, and I'm going as slow as possible because I want this to be perfect and I want it to be laid. So I'm going to take my time, because when you take your time with things, things come out better. That's just what I've learned in life. So I'm using this popsicle stick and I'm just going around the perimeter of the cap, and I'm also on my edges or my sideburns. I place the glue on top of the cap because that's where it's exactly going to lay, and that's going to be like your sideburns or whatever, the extra piece of hair. And as you can see, the glue dries clear. So when it starts to dry clear, that's when you know you can start adding your extra layer. So you don't necessarily have to use a blow dryer, but you can if you want to. So I did at some points and I didn't at some points, but it all just depends. So like when it's drying fast, I don't necessarily use the blow dryer, but when it's not drying fast enough, that's when I do grab the blow dryer. And I will say that the more patient you are with this glue, the better outcome you have when it comes to laying your frontal and making sure that it just drying clear and you can't see any white underneath the lace. So for the lace to be glued down, I am pulling it forward, and what I was trying to do on this side was perfectly place the lace around my ear so I wouldn't have to cut too much excess off around my ear, and therefore I would only have to cut a lot off on the other side. And this is often with all frontal laces, so I kind of just applied the side, not necessarily like, well, I was kind of going off of like my edges, so I kind of placed it down. And you don't want to press too hard if you know you still might need to move the lace, because you kind of only have like a minute to lay the lace down, and then that's when the glue starts to dry and it's like super hold and it ain't going nowhere. So once I kind of lay the side down, I kind of just start from the top and just like press along the edges of the glue. But you also want to make sure that it's smooth, so like the lace is laid flat, because I was lifting this part up because there was a roll that was starting to form because I didn't lay it down flat enough, and it was only because I was trying to avoid having the lace around my ear. And then on this side, all I did was pull the hair back so the lace was out the way, and then I just did my 3 layers again. So on this side, I feel like I'm a lot more like in view. So I wanted this to not be in slow-mo. So I'm pulling the lace forward and I'm gently pressing down. So you literally just like want to go along the edges of where the glue is and just match the lace up, but you want to pull tight because like I said, you don't want to have any rolls. So you just want to pull, press, pull, press. Like that's literally how I'm getting it to lay exactly how I want. And therefore, all you like, because when you're pulling and you're pressing, you're going to have that extra lace that you have to cut off. And that's okay because you have to cut the lace in order to be comfortable around your ear. Because if not, you're going to have some flaps hanging on your ears with extra lace and hair. Just looking stupid. Here I've identified the extra lace around my ear. And I'm just showing you guys like where it's at. And what you're going to do is you're going to take some scissors and you're literally just going to cut around your ear. So I was contemplating if I was going to keep this part in because I did accidentally cut like the hair that I needed for the sideburns off on this side because I wasn't really feeling correctly. I don't know why I just like cut across like an idiot. So I look like a president. Like, you know how like the presidents look? Like, let me show you. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. I was trying to figure out if it was comfortable for my ear, and which it was. But look, what? Okay. Yeah, so all I did was just like pull the hair down just to cover that part because, yeah, that ain't it. That's not it, sis. No. Anyway, so then after that, I glued down the extra pieces that were not, like, that didn't have glue in that area. And all you have to do is just like take a popsicle stick, or you can take a metal rat tail comb just to apply some glue in that area and just to place it down. In these areas, you don't need to blow dry to dry the glue. You can literally just like let it air dry because it's not a big thick layer of glue. Like it's so thin, and I only use 2 layers for these parts because it's only like a little section of lace. Here, I don't really use my finger for small areas either to lay it down. I actually like to use the rat tail comb, the metal part, because I can get it exactly how I want it to lay. And I like to throw a little bit of hair kind of over it. So yeah, if you have this comb or you don't, get you one because it's the best comb ever. And yeah, I'm just doing the same thing on the other side just to, make sure that lace is laid. I want to make sure every little piece is glued down because that's how we want it to be, right? And you can actually see like how the lace is melting already. So now we're getting into the fun part, the baby hairs. So I'm just taking a comb and, well, the same comb, and I'm just like pulling kind of hairs out, like combing out hairs that were already in the pre-plucked area. And I did forget to mention that this frontal was already pre-plucked. Like I didn't really pluck anything to do with this frontal, so I'm not gonna take credit for any of the plucking. So I'll have to give that to this company, AsteriaHair, that they pop in for that. So yeah, so I just like grab little baby hairs. I kind of weave the comb through to just get little extra pieces, and all you do is just take scissors, and I cut hair like 1 inch to half an inch just to create the baby hairs. So you don't want them too long because it's not realistic, I guess, if they're really long. And then you just be doing too much. So I'm going to take the same Got2b glued spray and I'm going to spray it on this package that I've been using. And I'm going to take a toothbrush and I'm going to kind of just like rub the toothbrush in there. And I'm going to swoop my baby hairs with this toothbrush. And this is all technique with your finger. Everything I do for my baby hairs all is in the work of my finger. So I take the toothbrush around my finger to create these little swoops that I want. And you can also spray the toothbrush itself with the Got2b glue spray if you want to make it easier so you don't have to dip it in there. But yeah, so for my baby hairs, I like a lot kind of. I'm not really into like the thin, like the kind of more natural. I just want baby hairs. Like I want my baby hairs to be popping. So I got a lot of baby hairs. And this part is all optional. Like, you don't have to have this much baby hair if you don't want to. I feel like having this much baby hair, though, like with curly hair or deep wave hair, just makes it look kind of more realistic. Because I feel like most people that actually have, like, this kind of hair, they baby hairs be popping. Or, like, the people who like baby hairs with this kind of hair. Like, they make sure they baby hairs be booming. So, I'm going to do what they do, you know? So... Okay, so this is the grand finale. This is what it looks like afterwards. As you can see, like, the lace, it just looks good. I'm gonna have another view for you guys too, so you guys can see. But I'm gonna, like, you know, whip my hair back and forth for y'all, just so y'all can see that this wig ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you need to do. I'll say this got to be glue, and this bold hold is doing its job. It got to be on hold, okay? No, but as far as anything else I did to make sure this wig was cool, I was just cutting like this extra piece of the cap that I could see. So that's what I was doing in this part. But I just wanted y'all to see, like, how laid this wig really was and how well I bleached the knots and how perfectly the wig cap was blended as far as, like, using my foundation. Like, I'm giving all credit to myself. Like, I laid this. I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give credit when it's due, and I'm going to give credit to myself. Nah, but yeah, I'm so happy that I finally got a hang of this. But anyway, so this is the next day. And right now, this is how I am taming the hair. So I have a spray bottle, and I'm just wetting the hair, and I'm going through it with my fingers because I don't want to comb it out because then I don't want it to get too big, but I still want it to be somewhat big. And as far as any styles that you can do with this hair, so as far as, like, what I'm going to do. So I liked a side part, so I have a side part that I'm forming, so you can definitely do a side part and make it look really natural. You can see that the lace is like my scalp color, which is perfect. And then also you can have a middle part, and for the middle part, the hair was actually a little bit too thick in, like, kind of some areas, so I did pluck it myself, and all I did was take the comb and kind of part it, and then whatever hair I found in that area that was in the way, I just pulled it out. And this might not be like a method, like, if you're not kind of like good at this, definitely don't do this. Like, take your time plucking a middle part, but I just kind of don't care. I kind of just, like, go with the flow, and going with the flow makes things look a little bit more natural for me, so that's the reason why I do that. But yeah, middle part is definitely a go. Another cute style is kind of like half up, half down, like in a bum or whatever. A bum, girl. A bun or a ponytail. So I just put it in a ponytail and I kind of just parted it. However, but do you guys see, like, how well, like, how natural it looks when you part the hair? Like, that's crazy. I just need y'all to know, like, this is, like, probably, like, the best time I've ever done this. So it's, like, my first time in a sense. But yeah, so this is definitely a cute little style that you can do. It looks really cute, like, on a wet look too. So definitely, if you have some mousse to keep it, like, on the wet look, definitely try that. And another thing that you can do with this hair is, if you know how to braid your hair, you can actually braid on this scalp as well. And I will say, because of the bold hold, that braiding is definitely possible. I know a lot of times, like, using other glues that aren't that great, it'll start to pull the lace when you start braiding, but nope, it didn't. Hopefully this video was very informative, and just to let you guys know a little bit about this hair so far, like, I love it. It's nice. I only used 2 bundles and a track, literally, like, across in the back, and it looks very full, and I accidentally put the 20 at the bottom and the 22 in the middle, but it actually worked out better because it falls better and I didn't have to do too much cutting or framing. Like I pretty much didn't cut or frame anything actually. So if you guys want to see, so this is what it looks like. Yeah, so I'm very satisfied. As far as shedding, I know the shedding that I did have was in the areas where I did like cut the hair, so that's kind of like one of the shedding, but so far so good. So I did wash the hair before too, after I washed the frontal, so you can see that this is what it looks like and it still looks decent. And the only shampoo that I do use on all my weave is Dove, so I use Dove shampoo and conditioner. It works best and it works good on your real hair too. And then as far as like braiding this hair, I mean, I feel like this is pretty decent curly hair. It's a deep wave curly hair and it's the bomb. It's big. I don't know if people like big hair, but if you like big hair, this is really good hair to get, and it's affordable and you can't beat it. So get you some, girl. Okay. Anyway, so if you guys want to see more videos like this and you like this kind of serious thing with frontals and kind of giving you guys like more insight on the hair and how I do things, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, like I always say, don't forget to like if you guys like it, don't forget to comment if you guys want to comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I'll see you all in my next video.
I spy with my little eye, a girly I can get cause she don't get too many likes, a curly headed cutie I could turn into my wife. Wait, that means